Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. So come on in. And as you come in, go ahead and shout out, say hello so that I can shout you out right back. Go ahead and share this and tag a bestie, tag a business bestie. This is going to be a great episode in which we're sharing six money management mistakes that our small business owners are making. We want you to be aware. We want you to have policies in place. We want you to have procedures in place. We want you to take a different angle in which how you start your business, how you manage the day to day. So we're going to share these 6 awesome tips with me, with you. I will share them with you. So as you come in, please go ahead and shout out. Let me know where you're chiming in from, and go ahead and share this. We have some amazing things to share. My name is Tara. I am the founder of Fontenelle and Associate Solutions, and you are rocking on Swag Her magazine page, in which we bring you tips, news, solutions, all of these amazing things just for you. So as you come in and share, I'm going to go ahead and share myself. So we'll give a couple of minutes for those to get the alert. As we go ahead and share this amazing episode. So go ahead and grab your tea, grab your notebook, grab your coffee, whatever it is that you need to make sure that you take notes from this webinar. It is definitely going to be amazing. So I am asking my followers to join in, and I want you to do the same. Go ahead and ask them to join in with you as you get prepared to take your notes and jump in with us. Today is just another amazing day to be to get the tools and tips that we need to be successful. Right now, as you're going to see, and I don't know if you probably are, I've already heard, but there's just so many of our small business owners, over 50% are not surviving past 5 years. So we want to change those statistics, and the way that we change them is to know what happened for those businesses to fail. So we go look at the statistics, we look at the research, we look at all of these great things to bring things like this webinar to you so that you're just aware. Because many of us are starting our businesses from passion. We're starting them because this is something that I have a skill set in, and I want to jump into the market and share all of my knowledge, my expertise, and my skills. But sometimes we're not aware of the right path to take to start the business, what things I should do first, what things I need to be aware of to make sure I am not making the same mistakes as these statistics show that many business owners continue to make. So today we're talking about money management. So we're talking about 6 awesome tips. So if you already shared, go ahead and shout out. Let me see who's shouting out today. I'm going to jump in so that I can talk with you guys and chat with you. Jackson, Mississippi, what is up? Thank you for joining in. I definitely appreciate it. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab your tea, grab your notebook, so you can take notes about this episode. Again, if you are not following me, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and follow me at Fontenelle Solutions. We bring tips and news just like this, also on our main page. We want to share this with all of your followers, all of your business besties and partners as we jump in and rock this episode. So yes. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my slides. Again, before we kickstart, I want you to just let me know if you have any questions after. Sometimes a lot of this can be overwhelming, sometimes because in my webinars, I want you to truly be thinking about your business. As we go through the slides, as we bring up a tip, as we bring up a mistake that has already happened, I want you to be thinking about your business. What can you do to change the ways or processes in which you have in existence today? Or if you have not get started and you're working to get started, what can I do as a business owner to make sure that I do not come across this mistake? What can I do for a friend who has her own business or his or her own business to help them not fall into this box of failure when it comes to our small business owners making it to be successful and surviving past 5 years. So I want you to be thinking about that. And that's why sometimes I want you to take notes. And if you have questions, go ahead and drop your questions in. I'll try to answer some of them as we are live. For those that I cannot answer, then I can inbox you or email you or connect with you after. But let's go ahead and get this party started. Hello again, everyone, and welcome. If you are just catching this episode of this webinar, I want to thank you for jumping in and joining us today. Today, the topic of this webinar is 6 money management mistakes that our small business owners are making. I want to share these 6 with you. Some of them will be eye openers, some of them will be teasers, some of them will be brainstormers that will just help you to think about, oh my gosh, how does this affect me in my business? Or, oh my gosh, how can I make sure that when I start my business that I am not falling into this box? My name is Tara. I am the founder of Fontenot Solutions. You can find us on all social media platforms at Fontenot Solutions. We are your back office geeks when it comes to accounting and operations of your business, whether that's budgets, templates, financial management, bank reconciliations, account reconciliations, all of the great things as far as accounting, business accounting. We are here to support you. Operations, when it comes to day-to-day tasks, whether you're needing templates, whether you need employee handbooks, all of the operations, training material, employee job descriptions, all of those great things that help you manage your day-to-day. That's why we are those back office geeks, because we don't mind being behind the scenes. That's where we work our best. That's what we enjoy doing. So today we're bringing you this webinar because we want to change these success statistics when it comes to our small business owners. We want to bring you the statistics that we see when it comes to what are the things that we're just missing as we're joining in this passion, as we're starting these businesses. What are we missing? What things can we do different to make sure that we are not falling into the same statistics that seem to have been going on for decades now? So I will go ahead and be sharing my screen. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and grab your tea, grab your notebook, so that you can take the notes that you want to take as it relates to your business as you end this episode today with us. I'm excited, and I want to thank you again for being here. I enjoy conducting these webinars because it's all about helping each other. It's all about getting the information that we need. It's all about helping the next business owner to be successful. That is what we want. That is how we circle the dollars in our communities. That is how we make the best in the industry and the markets that we are in. So again, this is the topic of what we'll be sharing today. Again, you can follow me or find me on all social media platforms at Fontenot Solutions. So we share with you this disclosure to let you know, yes, you have permission to use this information. We want you to use it, but definitely take notes, refer a consultant attorney if necessary, but this is definitely that reference tool that we want to deliver and provide for you so that you can make the right decisions or take the right steps when it comes to starting or managing your business day to day. So welcome again. I've said most of this already, but I just wanted to welcome again and say thank you for being here. Here's my contact information, my email, and also where you can find me on all social media, which is Facebook, Twitter. Join me on LinkedIn as well. If you're not on LinkedIn, jump on LinkedIn. It's another great platform for you to find colleagues and share your business as well. Our mission here is to help you build million-dollar businesses. And we do that by delivering the accounting and operation tools that have held other business owners back from being sustainable and also avoiding long-term success. So here we jump into number one. One of the 6 money management mistakes our small businesses are making is we're spending too much too soon. Now, we have to take back the excitement when it comes to starting the business and actually think about how much is it going to cost me, not only to start, but to manage it. So let's just take a t-shirt company, for example. Yes, I'm going to need to have some inventory on hand, but I first need to decide how much inventory do I need on hand instead of going to buy a whole closet full of t-shirts that I'm not going to sell within 30 days. So that's where we have to watch when we're starting a business. How much do I need to buy right now? How much do I need to buy today to be sustainable so that I have product available for my customers? That is what we need. Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Because when we start our businesses, most of us are starting it from using our savings. Most of us are starting it from pulling down our 401k. Most of us are starting our business from borrowing. So we have to make sure that with the bucket of money that we have today, when you start the business, how much of it do I truly need to spend in order to kickstart my business? And how much of it can I string along because I want to make sure that I have enough to sustain 3 months, 4 months, 6 months? Because I've heard so many stories of business owners failing within the first 3 months. I've heard so many stories of business owners who have failed in the first 3 months. Because just think about it. The first month, you're hype, you're spending money, you're buying products, you're marketing your business, you are just all in it. The second month, you're wondering, where are my customers? What did I do wrong? Let me just spend some more money. Let me go find my customers. And by month 3, you've overspent your budget. And again, that's if you had a budget to start with. So it's important. That is going to be one of our tips later, or one of the mistakes later. But here we have to make sure that we're not spending too much too soon. If you started a t-shirt company and you already have equipment, there's no need to go buy new equipment. Use the equipment that you have. The same thing goes for a service business. If you're a service business, you already have a laptop, you already have a computer, you already have a printer. Yes, it may be an old printer. Yes, it may not be the best printer, but it's still a printer that you can use until you have enough cash cushion to get the new computer, get the new printer. So let's make sure that we're using what we have first before we spend. And here I say, yes, I agree that we must spend money to make money. Investing in your business is necessary. However, investing too much too soon is cited to be one of the top main reasons our small businesses are failing. So this remains to be one of the top 10. And I'm saying decade after decade, this one remains to be one of the top 10. So I want to put pause on how we're approaching the startup of our business. I want us to put pause on how we are tracking the money cash flow, because we should have a goal for at least the first year when it comes to finances and money, not just the first 3 months. Because failing in 3 months means that you spend everything that you have saved for to start that business. And that is what we want to avoid. Because it may have taken you years to save that money, and in 3 months it's gone. That's not only heartbreak, but that's disappointment. That's a lot of other things that we want to help small business owners as they kickstart their business to avoid. So number 1 is spending too much too soon. So let's put tools in place, such as budgets, such as realistic goals as to how much do I need to start, and how much month over month do I need to still be sustainable and available for my clients or customers that I'm still trying to find. Here's some more of a money management tip when it comes to number 1. The first few years are fragile. So just remember that. Even if you don't feel like you have everything together in the first year, it's okay. The best thing and the best protocol to take is to have tools in place, visible tools, not just in our minds, like, well, I think this is how much it's going to cost me. Having true tools in place that you can go pick it up and look at it. Okay, what did you say this category? How much did I say this category is going to cost me? How many t-shirts do I need to have on hand in different sizes and different colors? We need to have something that's visible. And if I'm starting a t-shirt company, I don't want to have 10 t-shirts available for my clients and customers to buy, because that's too much too soon. You're giving them too many options. I heard a great episode on a webinar I was attending, and having 1 to 2 t-shirts. If you're starting a t-shirt company, this is just for an example so that we kind of get the concept of where I'm going with this. You only want 2 t-shirts. Give them 2 options to buy. That way it limits how much inventory you have on hand, and it doesn't give them so much time in your shopping cart. to try to figure out, okay, out of these 10, which 2 do I want? Which one do I want? And many times they leave the cart because they can't make a decision. So only give them 2. Only give them 2. So the first few years are fragile and will measure financially how long your business will last. Spend more time focusing on acquiring the new customers who are your ideal to your product or your service. And because this is the roadmap to the future of the business. Many times we are marketing because we have not found our customers, because maybe the customer that you're looking for is too broad. So many times I have customers or my clients, I have them write down, who are you looking for? When it comes to the t-shirt company, who are you looking to buy that t-shirt? What's their age range? Are you looking for the 16 to 21? Are you looking for the 25 to 35? What's the age range that you're looking for to sell those t-shirts? And if you find that age range and you say 25 to 35, okay, where do they shop? Are they shoppers online? Do they shop at certain stores? Do they certain brands? You really have to break down who the customer is you're looking for, whether you have a product or whether you have a service business, because that's going to help you narrow down who you're looking for. Because you may be on all social media platforms looking for your customers, but maybe your customers are not on Twitter. Maybe your customers are not on Instagram. Or in the t-shirt company, yeah, you want to be on Instagram, but maybe your customers are not on LinkedIn. So if you're on 6 or 7 different platforms trying to find your customers, that's a lot of work, especially if you're doing this all by yourself. So you have to limit the tension that you have when you're starting a business all by yourself. Limit to 2 t-shirts, limit it to platforms where you know that 25 to 35 range is. If you're selling hair products, if you're selling clothing, this is what I want you to be thinking about. Who am I selling these clothing? Who am I selling these hair products to? And where do they shop? Where do I see them? What are their likes? Because that's going to help you with your budgeting when it comes to even marketing your product. Because you're not out there just throwing a rope saying, hey, I have this. Do you want it? Now you can be more intentional about your marketing. Like, yeah, I know you shop online. I know you shop here on Instagram, and you want to put your product in front of them because you know that's where they shop. See this opportunity as a roadmap. Finance tells a story. I kid you not that numbers tell a story. And I tell my clients that all the time. Numbers can tell your story. It can predict where you are currently, and it can also help you with predicting your future. But I encourage you to start small, whether you're in products or service. If you're in a service business, have 2 key products, 2 to 3 key products that you offer, and market the heck out of them. Those 2 to 3. In your range of the services that you offer, narrow it down to 2 to 3 when you're starting off. Because when you have 10 to 15, confuse our customers. We're not sure what service you provide. We're not sure what your expertise is. So we want to make sure that we're narrowing down our services that we're offering. That is going to help you find your client, and that's going to help you better sell your product or service that you have. So let me know if you're enjoying these tips. Let me know if you're catching all of this. I definitely encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to go ahead and share this in your community. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for coming in and catching the replay. Definitely go ahead and take notes as we take it through the next tips that we have for you today. Tip number two, when it comes to money management and failure. Failing to analyze our prices. Oh my gosh, I can tell you this was a brain wrecker for me. I will give you transparency here. This was a brain wrecker because I have a service business. So you often are questioned, okay, how much do I charge my client and my customer for the services that I'm providing for them? One piece that we fail to miss, especially when you have a service business, is our time. The time it takes you to produce that product, that amazing product that you're offering to your client. Your time, it does matter. We cannot be equally offering our service for something that may take us 30 minutes to something that takes us 2 to 3 hours. That's where the frustration comes in when it comes to managing a service business, because you feel exhausted. Oh my gosh, you feel exhausted because you're doing so much. And at the end of the day, you feel like you're doing so much for pennies. So analyzing your price is a definite key to kickstarting your business. And I say kickstarting because you want this tip down before you start the business. Because I've seen business owners, and just in conversation and other colleagues, they're going like this. And they're going like this depending on the need, their personal need. Like, oh my gosh, I need to pay rent today. Oh my gosh, I need to make payroll. Oh my gosh, I have bills to pay. And then that's how their prices fluctuate. And it should not be like that, because we're hurting ourselves as small business owners. So we want to make sure that we have truly thought about our service, our product, that we've done our research amongst our competitors in industry, and that we do not lowball our prices to believe that we think that we're going to find the customers that we want with low prices. That's where you get all of the customers you don't want. That's where you get those to where you feel like, oh my gosh, they want so much for nothing. Oh my gosh, I'm doing so much work for little dollars. So this is a key aspect that will totally break you. It will break you, or will have you changing your pricing all the time. And that is something you don't want as well. You want to know your value from skills, expertise, knowledge. You want to know your value. You also want to know your competitors in your industry. What is the average pricing of the product or service that you offer? I want to be in the middle of competition of when it comes to my competitors. I don't want to be at the low ball. That doesn't work anymore. I think back in the day, we used to go for the businesses or the products or services that were the lowest cost. But then you have to think about the customer service. Are you going to get the same quality of customer service when it comes to getting the person with the lowest price? Has that been your experience? Just think about your own personal experience. In most cases, when you go the low ball, when you get the cheapest hotel, you don't get the best. You don't get the same. You just don't get a match. So I want you to think about that when it comes to your business before you start. If you've already started and you have found yourself in this box, to where you feel like you're going every which way all the time to just set on a price. So I want you to think about your expertise, your knowledge, your skills, your time, and also your competitors in your industry. Do the research. It's going to save you so much headache, so much heartache, so much financial impact if we can analyze and stick with the pricing scale. In the event that you have started your business, you have a great 2 or 3 products. If you're a service business, you have scaled those products, you have enhanced them, you have customers and clients that truly love them, and you see a need to increase. Once you know that you've hit that mark, that you have a scalable product, then that's where you go up. You don't go down. Because one, you've now created a product that people want, customers are asking for, it's in demand. So now you take a little time, tweaking it a little more, maybe adding a little more, and you increase your price. That should be the only way that we're going up, not going back down. So I encourage you to definitely fully take this in consideration when it comes to starting your business, because I tell you, business owners, especially small business owners, struggle with it all the time. So if this is you, you're not alone. So I encourage you to think about this. When working through your business plan, pricing should definitely be determined based on factors such as the industry, the demand, and your competitors. So here are some other tips as it relates to that topic. Before launching your business, you must have a good grasp on how others in your market are pricing their products and services. I tell you that this is key, and it will save you a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of frustration when it comes to you marketing your business and working your business to be a profitable business. Choosing to make your price the lowest as before, it's not the key thing to do. I definitely discourage you from doing that because it's just not, it's not good for your business, because then you find yourself just penny pinching up and up until you feel like you've reached your mark, in which is the accurate pricing that you should have started from the beginning. So take time in the beginning to find what your ideal market pricing is. It will definitely save you a lot of pain. Tip number three here is to know the difference between cash versus profit. I know this may sound simple, simplistic, but it's definitely important. It still remains to be one of the top reasons why our small business owners are failing when it comes to management. So cash versus profit, what does that mean? That means that cash is what you need to manage and maintain and run your business. It's understanding what money is coming in, what money needs to go out for payables, for payroll, for bills, for rent. That's cash. That's knowing how the business is, what the transactions of the business is. That's knowing day to day, what's my cash on hand? By the end of the week, how much cash do I need to have on hand in order to make sure I meet payroll, in order to make sure I can buy more inventory? That's cash. And it's important to understand that, because you have to have a visual of what the business should look like, at least on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. On a weekly basis, you should have an understanding or a number that you are reaching for, that you have to reach in order to make sure everything flows the way it should flow. Whether that's your launching of a new product, you have to know where does my cash flow need to be in order for me to launch that new product, that new service. Because what comes along with that new product launch? I'm sure there's some marketing that needs to go along with that. What's your budget for that? How much do you need to have on hand? How long do you plan to market this product or service before you launch it? So there's so many factors and things to think about, but that's cash. Your profit is what's left over after you have paid for all of your business expenses. That's true profit. That's saying that I have earned $1,000 this month, but when I think about all of the expenses that went along with that, it cost me about 500. So my only true profit is 500. Yes, I earned 1,000, but my profit is only 500. That's a difference. So I know many of us here from our big corporations that they made $1 million, that they made $2 million in, let's say, 2018. But that is their gross number. Sometimes it takes us going to look at their financial statements to understand truly how much did the company make in that year after all of the expenses. And sometimes you will see that that's definitely less than $2 million. So as a small business mindset, we have to look at it the same way. Yes, I may have grossed $5,000 because I sold 5 $1,000 service products, workshops. But at the end of the day, when you look at your expenses, it's less than the $5,000. So we want to understand the difference and know how to look at them differently when it comes to projecting, okay, what's my next step in business? I want to profit $5,000, but then that means I need to sell how much? I need to know how much my expenses are. So there's a formula to the money management process, and we want you to see all aspects of it. So when you think about your cash flow, your day-to-day, what's needed, and also think about the profit scale. Okay, I want to make a profit at this date with this dollar amount. How do I do that? And how do you do that? You backdoor into it because you need to know the expenses. You need to know how many sales you need to make. We have to know all of that in order to know how to reach the profit goals that we're trying to reach. So let's keep that in mind as you start or manage and maintain your business today. Okay, so here is number 4. Number 4 is a whopper. I call it a whopper because many small business owners miss this part. We miss this part because it's the painful part. It's like going to the doctor and getting a shot. You don't want to do it, although you know you need to, you don't want to do it. So it comes to your taxes. Missing tax payments can kill your business. It can kill your business in drastic ways because as a small business owner, we have to maintain tax payments quarterly. Um, I I put the dates in here so that you kind of have an idea of when the quarters are and actually when the due dates for those quarters would be. But when it comes to manage and maintain a business, we are responsible for submitting our estimated tax payments. But when you work for someone, that is different. When you are being paid by a corporation and they're deducting your taxes out of your check, it is then their job to make sure the taxes they've taken out of your check is sent to the state on a quarterly basis or to the IRS on a quarterly basis. And that's why you, as your own business owner, you're managing your own thing now. This is your baby. And now, from the monies that you've earned, it is your responsibility to pay taxes on those dollars, which means that you have to get set up to send in your tax payments quarterly. And this is something that if you are not, this is not your thing. This is something that when I say we support with back office accounting, these are things that we support with. We understand compliance is important because if you're not compliant, then there comes fees, there comes penalties, there comes interest, all of those categories that we have not budgeted for. Did you catch that? That if we do not follow the protocol that we're supposed to follow, what comes with that is interest, penalties, late payments. But in your budget that you made for the business, there wasn't a bucket for penalties and interest. So that is additional money that you're having to come up with that, again, you didn't budget for. So that's why it's important that we take action on these things prior to it killing our funds, killing our budget that we do have, taken away from something that we didn't already budget for. Those things can kill your business. So I encourage you that if you are not sure if you should be sending in quarterly payments, that we first identify that. Then second, we get set up so that you can send in estimated payments, because this will help you at the end of the year. When you go to your tax accountant, you start filing your taxes, you start sharing with them how awesome your business did for 2019, all of the money that you made. And you're also telling them, okay, these were my expenses for the year. And guess what? There was so much success in your business, you have a profit. You made more money than it did to, you earned more money than, what am I trying to say? I can't even get the words out. You made more money than it cost you to be in business. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you have to pay taxes on your dollars. So we want to be sure that you have the right tools in place, the right processes in place, so that you can avoid any penalties and interest that may come to your business. Because again, these penalties and interest are not in your budget. So let's make sure we keep them out your budget by staying on time and making sure that we have the right tools and processes in place. Okay, here's a big did you know? Did you know that 69% of the US entrepreneurs start their business at home? I wanted to include this in here as a money management tip because I want you to know that you do not have to go out and get a brick and mortar. You do not have to go out and get a mini office. You do not have to do that from the start. We want you to make sure that you have enough funds to sustain your business, because having a rent, having to pay something like this that's a fixed cost, it can blow your budget in the first 2 months. Because if you're not budgeting, if you're not getting the money that you need that's incoming into the business, but you still have this fixed cost, which is rent, it can kill your business. Where you may have budgeted for a year, 12 months, but because the sales are not going as you expected them to, because their clients are not coming as fast as you expected them to, it doesn't mean that you don't have to pay your rent for the place that you now have this mini office in, that you thought you were going to be meeting a lot of clients in. So that's where we want you to catch. If you can manage your business from home, start your business from home. We encourage you to do that because 69% of our US entrepreneurs are doing it that way. And that's how they're able to sustain a budget that they start with. Here is tip number 5. Tip number 5. It goes back kind of to tip number 1, in which we talked a little bit about a budget, but it's operating without a budget. And I know many of you hear budget a lot. Some of you may not have a personal budget, so it may be hard for you to convert to creating a business budget. And I get it. We get it. It can be hard. It can be hard to write down everything. It can be hard to put dollar values to each of those boxing categories. But I'm here to tell you, it's your roadmap to success. It's your roadmap to stop you from making unnecessary purchases. It's a roadmap to stop you from launching that new product when you're not ready to launch the new product. It can be your savior in your pricing scale. Because if you have a budget, just think about it. When you have a budget, especially if you're selling products and you have a budget, you have in your head, in your mind, how many products you need to sell. And then you also have to take that number and multiply it by a price. And by that price, you then come up to a number that you're saying, I need to make this amount this month, or I need to make this amount in 45 days or 60 days. So if you can see that in a budget, you have a target. And it goes back to the pricing. So that's why pricing is important. Because if I've already determined that I have to sell X amount of products at this price in order to reach my goal, I have to make sure that my pricing is at best, the best position that it can be for what I'm offering and what I'm selling to my ideal clients. Because if I'm lowballing my product, that means I have to sell way more. You have to sell way more. So pricing is important. Budgets can help you and save you. Here I say, when trying to run a business without a budget, it continues to be one of the top reasons that our small business owners are not surviving. Just like you need a roadmap when driving in a new city or visiting a new city or going on a long trip with your family, you need a roadmap for those things. You're already mapping out what you're going to do each day, how much it's going to cost you for the events, what time we're going to go to these different things. So just as we map out our personal life when it comes to spending the money, it's important that we map out our business roadmap from a financial aspect, because it's important for you to know how many products you need to sell this month, how many products you need to sell the next month. If I'm launching a new product, who is my ideal target for the new product, and what is my pricing scale going to be for the new product? Or maybe you want to package some items. Maybe you already offer 2 or 3 products and you want to package them. How are you going to package those 2 or 3 products if you don't understand the individual pricing of those products? So this is where the financial roadmap becomes so important. It becomes so important. So I encourage you guys to definitely make sure that you have a clear idea of how much you're going to be spending in the business and how much you plan to make in the business, along with a roadmap to how you're going to make sure you meet your financial target goal. How are you going to make sure you sell those 50 products in 30 days? What's going to be your budget for that? Because there's going to be some marketing into that. Have you identified how much in your marketing budget you're going to have to use or spend to sell 50 of the products that you need to sell? This is where your budget comes to play a big and key part, because often we are just clicking the button and we're spending budgeting, we're spending marketing money, but we don't capture how much is truly going out in a month. And then after the month's over, the budgeting process or roadmap that you took to market your product, did it get you the 50 sales? Did it reach any of your ideal markets? Because it's important to figure out what marketing tool works for you. Because a marketing tool that may have worked for your best friend, your other friend's business, your colleague's business, it may not work for your business. So it's important to understand what marketing techniques to take when it comes to market your very own product, depending on your industry and your target audience. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 5. So here we are on our last tip today. Tip number 6, overestimating future sales. I found this to be an eyedropper or a mouth dropper because when we kickstart our business, just as I mentioned, the 50 products that you need to sell in 30 or 45 days, 50 products is probably based on a number that you're trying to reach, right? You said, I want to make this amount of money in 45 days. And to get that number in 45 days, you had to determine how many products you needed to sell. But where we fall short is we overestimate. Sometimes we're overconfident before we know we've reached our ideal market. So I want you to be cautious of the numbers that you create when it comes to predicting your future sales. When in business, many business owners tend to make overly confident future sales based on their gut. While the gut is important, the gut is good for our mindset, the gut is good for our confidence, the gut is good for pushing us to keep marketing and showcasing our business, we have to have some realistic goals as well. Because again, we have to make sure that we have the right marketing technique that's going to help you reach your goal, because that's key. I can say I want to sell 50 t-shirts, but how am I going to sell those 50 t-shirts? Am I going to attend networking events? Am I going to sell them with different colleagues? Am I going to partner with someone and offer a package to sell my shirt? What is going to be my technique to sell my 50 t-shirts? I have to figure that out because I have to make sure that happens in order to reach my financial goal. So to understand this, it will be important to thoroughly understand your business processes, team performance, and the current market trends. You have to look at what's trending right now. What ways are others in my industry and my competitors, how are they selling their products? What's working? That is what's key to selling our products. We have to find out what's working, because you can be trying to sell your t-shirts, your hair products, your clothing line in a way to where it's not reaching your ideal market. So it's important to know. So do your best to avoid overestimating, because that will too crush your budget. It will crush your funds that you have set maybe for the next 2 or 3 months, because you have already identified how much you need on hand to be sustainable. So far, we've gone over 6 money management tips that we've shared with you today. If you're just catching this on this webinar, I encourage you to take notes, to think about your business, to write down different concepts, different ways that you plan to either start your business, to make sure you do not fall in this bucket of making the same mistakes and not having a successful and sustainable business that can survive over 5 years. We want to encourage you to think about different methods to truly understand your industry, understand your market, understand your ideal clients, because it's those ideal clients that are out there waiting for you, but you have to know how to reach them. Today, I want to also share with you to remain in the top causes of the business. These are the 3 that continue to remain in the top 10 reasons why our small businesses are failing. We've run out of cash. I know I've said that multiple times, but believe it or not, it continues to be an issue for our small business owners today. We start off marketing, spending more in our budget for marketing. Sometimes we don't start off with enough cash because we don't truly know what it takes to manage and maintain the business day month after month. So running out of cash continues to be one of those reasons why our business fail. Pricing issues continue to be one of the reasons why our small businesses fail. And I tell you today with true transparency that small business owners still struggle with this, especially once they've kickstarted their business. So it's important for you to understand your industry, what the competitive pricing is, and to not lowball yourself when you decide to set your pricing. 3 is a product without a business model. So you have a product, you may love that product, you may be in love with it, but we have to find the ideal market that needs or that has a demand for what you have. So let's make sure we have a business model in place, that we know we have a product that the market needs. Why do they need it? How are you going to market your product to reach your ideal client? What pain points are you solving? Let's identify what those are, because that's going to help you separate yourself from your competition. That's going to help you stay in the market longer because you've identified a pain that you're trying to resolve, something that's missing, because maybe your competition is focused on one area of something, but they're also missing this other piece. And that's you trying to close the gap on that other piece while your competitors are focusing on something else. But we have to know what those things are. So it's important for you to do the research. It's important for you to build that business model that's going to have you sustainable and surviving past 4 or 5 years. So I encourage you to get the support that you need. Get the support that you need. If accounting is not your thing, if understanding forecasting, if understanding money, your dollars month after month is not your thing, get the support you need. Functional Solutions is definitely here to support on a monthly basis. We understand budgets. We understand that you need service support that can fit within your budget. So definitely let us know what services, what support you need. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I hope this was not overwhelming for anyone. I hope it was more information based. I hope it was more that would allow you to think more about your business, what steps you need to take, what steps you may need to change when it comes to thinking about the future of the business for 2020, right? We're entering a new decade. What things do I need to change in order to see my business in a different light? In order to increase my cash flow, do I need to raise my prices because it's too low? These are questions and things we want you to be thinking about before you get to 2020. Solve those pain points right now. So if you need support in business and operations, because maybe you're ready to hire someone, but you don't know how to create the job description, you don't know how to create the employee handbook, let us know what those pain points are that you're having so that we can support you in those areas. So where will you start first? That is a question that you have to answer. Where are you most challenging the business today? How can you change the way that you're managing your money? One of the key things also when it comes to money management is that you are still having your business and personal money in the same bucket. I need you to pull those two apart because you're commingling your funds. You don't know the true financial map of your business if you're commingling your personal and business together. You don't know how much the business has truly made because as soon as it's going into your personal bank account, it's being spent. And it causes you not to have a good roadmap, financial roadmap on your business. It causes you to pause when someone asks how the business is doing. If you're wanting to get a partner, and the partner is asking, well, how much have you done in the last, how much has your business made? How many sales have you made in the last 3 or 4 months? It's making you have to pause because yes, I'm making money, but the money is being commingled with my personal. So I encourage you to take those two apart, separate them, okay? Where will you start first? These are just some of the support services that we offer to our entrepreneurs and small business owners. We do offer financial literacy workshops. We offer those for free. If you are a small business owner watching this and you want to offer workshop to your staff, we talk about the foundation, building a financial foundation. We talk about what's needed to build the brick by brick process of their personal plus their business. Let us know how we can support you, your team in that way. Monthly accounting, policy procedures, QuickBooks. QuickBooks is an amazing tool if you know how to use it. I've come across many business owners who have QuickBooks, who pay for it monthly, but they don't do anything else with it after that. Because the time to understand what QuickBooks is doing, how to set it up and how to make it work for them, it becomes overwhelming because they're so focused on, in which they should be, growing the business. And QuickBooks can be something that's overwhelming you. So we want you to know that support is available. Preparing for this tax season, have you looked at or done the analysis? Have you categorized all of your business expenses for the past 12 months? Because you're going to need that to file your annual taxes. That is something we support with. We can put it in categories for your tax filing purposes. So the support is here Don't feel like you're managing or you're having to start this business alone. Don't feel like even if you've started the business that you're in this business managing it alone. We are here to help you build that $1 million business that I know that you have the plan for. So let us know how we can help you in managing your business today. We would love to support you in that way. And that's what we have for you guys today. So today was all about you. It was all about helping you see the money management mistakes that our small businesses are continuing to make over and over again. We hope that you can take some of these tips and implement the processes, the procedures, the protocols in your business today so that you can build a successful, sustainable, and manageable business when it comes to money management. If you'd like to learn more or you need more, or if you have questions, let us know in the comment field below, or you can email us at Terra, Terra, at fontenotesolutions.com. Let us know what your concerns are, what your challenges are that you may be facing in your business today. We would love to be able to support you. If you need any support, assistance, definitely email us and let us know. We can't thank Swag Her enough. We definitely appreciate you guys for letting us rock here on your page as we share with your followers such amazing tips to help them continue to be the successful and smart, amazing entrepreneurs and small business owners that they are. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I will see you in the next episode. Go ahead and share this. Go ahead and tag. Go ahead and heart this up. We want to create, change these success statistics in the US, across the world. So we definitely want to touch those small business owners who may need to hear these tips and solutions that we've shared with you today. I can't wait to share more with you guys. So share, follow Swag Her, follow me on Fontenot Solutions so that you know when our next episode is coming and that you know the next topic so that you can have your pen and pencil ready to rock it with us next time. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day and we'll see you in the next episode.